Hurricane Ian puts the southwestern coast of Florida underwater.
We know that this has been a big storm and it's done a lot of damage as it is.
Mass power outages, cars submerged, and homes swept away.
That just comes in like a raging river and just washes stuff away.
Here at home, tornadoes strike a senior community in Delray Beach.
And I went into the kitchen to get something, and then the kitchen window blew out and the house shook. It literally sounded like a locomotive was going through.
Miraculously, no one was hurt.
I feel blessed that I made it through okay. I wasn't harmed. I mean, somebody was watching over me.
As Ian continues to move across the state, Floridians begin to pick up the pieces after one of the strongest storms we've ever seen.
CBS 12 News This Morning starts now.
And this morning, Ian has been downgraded to a tropical storm after making landfall yesterday just west of Fort Myers with winds of 150 miles per hour. Our coverage continues now. Good morning. I'm Matt Lincoln.
And I'm Sam Kerrigan. The storm still has a long way to go, though, as it moves across the state, impacting millions more people.
And CBS 12 News has team coverage all morning long as Ian is leaving behind catastrophic damage.
Yeah, let's start with meteorologist Lauren Oleski, though, with the latest on Ian.
Yes, downgraded to a tropical storm. I want to talk about some fun stats right now. Here's a look at all of the I names that have ever been retired. Ida, Igor, Ike, Inez, Ingrid, Ione, Irene, Iris, Irma, Isabel, Isidore, and Ivan. We will likely add a 13th name to this list. The World Meteorological Organization meets every spring, so next March, April, when they come out with kind of their final wraps of the 2022 hurricane season, and when they push ahead to the 2023 hurricane season, that's when they make those decisions. I'm pretty sure that we're going to retire Ian. Now, I is the most retired letter amongst all of the tropical systems that we've ever seen. There have been, I just read them off to you, 12 I named storms that have been retired. In second place, there have been 9. That is for F and for the letter C. So there's some fun facts for you this morning. Again, Ian came ashore in southwest Florida as a Cat 4 with winds of 150 miles per hour. Charlie also came ashore in the same spot as a Category 4 with 150 miles per hour. There have been incredibly strong hurricanes that have made landfall in the contiguous United States. The 4 strongest, Michael, Andrew, the Labor Day hurricane, and Camille, 3 of them have all made landfall in the state of Florida. It has been incredibly, we have seen, I should say, the state of Florida, incredibly strong storms over the past several years in Florida. As we know, tropics becoming a lot stronger out there. I want to bring in our meteorologist, Jennifer Collins, also keeping a close eye on Ian, dumping a lot of rain in North Florida. Jen.
Oh, the rain is extreme at this hour. Catastrophic flooding ongoing for areas of east central Florida, and it includes parts of northeast Florida as well. And rainfall continues to fall, and we're seeing extreme flooding ongoing at this time. And as those bands of rain move onshore across areas of the First Coast and Space Coast at this hour. Let's take a zoomed in look. Currently, you can actually see part of the center of circulation of Ian as a tropical storm starting to move off the coast, though heavy rain bands along the northern side of it still move onshore right around the Daytona area. Flash flood emergency ongoing. Zooming in, we still have a flash flood emergency ongoing for Oviedo, just to the north of the Gainesville area of Orlando, and still in place for parts of the Orlando region in central Florida. And again, most of that rain activity still spreading across areas of the Palm Coast, expecting more rainfall to move into the Jacksonville area over the next hour or so. Already seeing 17 inches of rain. This is radar estimated rainfall currently in places over the last 24 hours, 11 inches just to the northwest of Titusville and just south of Orlando, about 13 inches of rain. So extreme catastrophic flooding still ongoing for northeast Florida. We have dry air wrapping in behind the storm, so it's going to head into parts into the Atlantic before approaching the Carolina coast of South Carolina and the Low Country, the Grand Strand. So heavy rainfall will spread into the Carolinas and then eventually into the mid-Atlantic. And again, heavy rainfall is a major threat across the Carolinas and also a slight surge threat, not the surge we saw in southwest Florida, but still we could see anywhere from about 2 to 4 feet of 4 to 6 feet of surge along parts of the southeast Georgia coast and the low country coast of South Carolina. Now, right now, I want to bring in Danielle DeRoss. Not only are impacts ongoing in northeast Florida, we're getting new images this morning of what southwest Florida is looking like at this time.
It's going to be a very long road ahead, Jen. In southwest Florida, they are going to be recovering for a very long time from the devastation that Hurricane Ian brought yesterday. We can show you a look at the downtown Fort Myers area where water just rushed in to downtown streets, that water several feet deep. Residents were inundated with floodwaters, warned to shelter in place, as were the first responders. They were ordered inside to ride out the worst of the storm, and you can see here how dangerous it was for vehicles who were out and about. Inside homes, this is what people were dealing with. That is floodwater taking over the first floor of a house, somebody's belongings floating there. And as they take a look outside their window, you just see that rushing water flowing by, honestly looking more like a river, all of that storm surge just outside their window. And when crews tried to perform water rescues, they found themselves in danger. This is video from the Naples Fire Department. Their station flooded and they had to remove some of their equipment to avoid sparks that were potentially causing a fire at their own station. We're told that the water has since receded and that they are okay. This is a look at homes damaged in Port Charlotte. Home after home here dealing with damaged roofs, debris, siding, parts of their homes even collapsing. Emergency managers in southwest Florida are saying this already appears to be the worst disaster that the region has ever faced. No reports yet of the number of people injured or possibly killed by this storm. But this morning, the Lee County Sheriff said that they are bracing to find many fatalities. Matt and Sam.
And that shouldn't come as a surprise. We certainly have heard lots of reports of people trying to ride out the storm. And as we talked about before, the West Coast really hadn't seen these kinds of storms before, and certainly not this kind of storm surge. And when that water came into the bay around Port Charlotte, it was nowhere for it to go other than just through the streets.
And there's a lot of low-lying land there too on the islands, the outer islands of that Charlotte Harbor area. So, I mean, those are low-lying areas. The water, 12-foot storm surge, it's going to go on land.
Easily.
Easily.
Right, and I think that's one of the things coming here out of Ian is that this storm is so big and is carrying so many impacts. We're seeing it affect Florida in so many different ways. Obviously, the devastation that we're seeing in southwest Florida, but the tornadoes that we saw here, and right now the flooding that's going on in central Florida and northeast Florida. We're going to have more of an idea of that as the day goes along. Ian's packing all sorts of different punches.
That's the thing. These tropical systems, a whole bunch of stuff happens with them, and they're getting bigger. We're seeing more intense storms over recent years as well. So kind of no matter what side of Ian you're on, you're getting impacted, especially in a state like Florida when a storm makes this kind of path. It's moving across the whole state. So whether you live in South Florida, Central or Northern Florida, you're being impacted by, one of the threats that Ian brings.
Yeah, the cleanup continues for our area today, and our team coverage continues with our reporters looking at Ian's damage in our area. Stephanie Valderrama live in Okeechobee. Stephanie, one of the hardest hit areas in our area there. What are you seeing?
Yes, Matt, the wind definitely picking up here, not the rain so much, but I want to show you some of the damage that we're seeing. Actually, right here behind me, as you can see, these are some sheds. Now, the one all the way on the end, at one point it wasn't upside down, but that just goes to show you how strong the wind here has been. Some of these sheds have the doors just wide open, and we even saw one on the other side that you can't see from this angle, but some of the shingles and the paneling on the side just totally gone. But I need to show you this over here. This is incredible. It's hard to believe, but the wind has picked up what appears to be someone's maybe garage. It's one of those that you attach to your home. As you can see, it has been moved. It is now on the side of the road. I would say probably the closest home from where this is, maybe 50 to 100 yards from where this is. So it obviously traveled quite a way. If we can pop up that video that our crew got last night, it shows you as well. Several stop signs were blown down, several power lines, traffic lights hanging low in the road. Even our crew reported seeing a roof fly off a home near Lake Okeechobee. Now, earlier on Wednesday, gas stations were wrapping up their pumps to prevent things from flying away. And right now, local officials say safety remains a top priority.
We want to make sure that our citizens are staying inside, staying off the roads. Even after the storm passes, stay off the roads because the conditions with down power lines are not safe. Not to mention, let the first responders do our job. So we don't want to be impeded by a bunch of traffic on the road that just doesn't need to be out there.
Yeah, so I spoke with Denise. She is the spokesperson for the county. She says at this time they haven't decided if they're going to reenact that curfew. She did say she cannot stress enough how people should not be on the roads at this hour. I mean, that right there, what we showed you, is one of those reasons why they need to keep the roads clear so city crews can come out here and clean up this debris. For now, I want to send it over to Kara Duffy, who is live in Wellington, as people continue the cleanup there after some possible tornadoes rip through that area. Kara, what are you seeing?
Good morning, Steph. Yeah, right now we're here along Aero Club Drive in the village of Wellington, and this is where residents are still waking up to quite a mess this morning. Sites like this I want to show you because it really does give you a good idea as to just how powerful the winds must have been really Tuesday night into Wednesday morning to cause this to happen. A large tree, the trunk of it, pretty massive here, just ripped up completely by the roots. And that's not all. We've seen large trees spread out all across this area here. Broken fences, lawn furniture, chairs scattered across people's yards. Now, all of this goes about a mile down the road. It's a little bit quiet now, but all throughout the morning, we've been hearing golf carts making their way through. Large village of Wellington, rather, crews out here picking up the larger pieces of debris. And believe it or not, they say they're about 90% of the way done with their portion of the cleanup process, which may sound like a lot, but once we get a further drive down the road and start entering some of these side developments, you can see just the extent of the damage here. So certainly going to be another long day for people here as they continue to wait to see if indeed it was a confirmed tornado to rip through this area here. But according to people in the area, what they heard, what they saw, and the damage left behind, they say they would not be surprised.
Yeah, Kara, thank you. And right now, what we're seeing are reports of down power lines. We know about a quarter of the customers in Indian River County don't have power right now. And Vero Beach Police sent us an alert that said, well, they put this out on Twitter, saying southbound Indian River Boulevard is closed at 23rd Street. That is south of Royal Palm Boulevard due to a down power line over the roadway. Traffic is being diverted to 23rd Street. So that's good to know if you're heading that way. But it's really good to know if you're heading anywhere out today. Be careful for these down power lines. Also be careful if you see any traffic lights that are out, or we're seeing reports of that. Also remember, if you got up to a traffic light where the power is out, it is a four-way stop. Make sure you're careful on the roadways today.
All right, we've got a lot more still ahead here on CBS 12 News this morning as we continue to cover the impacts of Ian across Florida all morning long. When we come back, we have more new dramatic video coming in from the hardest hit areas on the West Coast.
We are also waiting to hear from Governor DeSantis. He is set to speak here in a few minutes. We will bring that to you live. Here's a live look right now at Delray Beach. Stick with us.